A mildly fun thing to do when you're bored is start the beginning of a text message and then use only the suggested words to finish it.
In 5 years, I will see you in the morning, and then you can get it.
The technology behind these text predictions is called a language model, a computer program that uses statistics to guess the next word in a sentence. And in the past year, some other newer language models have gotten really weirdly good at generating text that mimics human writing.
In 5 years, I will never return to this place. He felt his eyes sting and his throat tighten. It's probably
The program
reality.
completely made this up. It's not taken from anywhere else, and it's not using a template made by humans. For the first time in history, computers can write stories. The only problem is that it's easier for them to write fiction than to write facts. Language models are useful for a lot of reasons. They help recognize speech properly when sounds are ambiguous in speech-to-text applications. And they can make translations more fluent when a word in one language maps to multiple words in another. But if you asked language models to simply generate passages of text, the results never made much sense.
So the kinds of things that made sense to do were like generating single words or very short phrases.
For years, Janelle Shane has been experimenting with language generation for her blog AI Weirdness. Her algorithms have generated paint colors,
Bull cream.
Halloween costumes,
Sexy Michael Cera.
and pickup lines.
You look like a thing, and I love you.
But this is what she got in 2017 when she asked for longer passages like the first line of a novel.
The year of the island is discovered the Missouri of the galaxy, like a teenage lying and always discovered the year of her own class writing bed. It makes no sense.
Compare that to this opening line from a newer language model called GPT-2.
It was a rainy, drizzling day in the summer of 1869, and the people of New York, who had become accustomed to the warm, kissable air of the city, were having another bad one.
It's like it's getting better at bullshitting us.
Yes, it is very good at generating scannable, readable
Going from word salad to pretty passable prose took a new approach in the field of natural language processing. Typically, language tasks have required carefully structured data. You need thousands of correct examples to train the program. For translation, you need a bunch of samples of the same document in multiple languages. For spam filters, you need emails that humans have labeled as spam. For summarization, you need full documents plus their human-written summaries. These data sources are limited and can take a lot of work to collect. But if the task is simply to guess the next word in a sentence, the problem comes with its own solution. So the training data can be any human-written text, no labeling required. This is called self-supervised learning and makes it easy and inexpensive to gather data, which means that you can use a lot of it. Like all of Wikipedia, or 11,000 books, or 8 million websites. With that amount of data, plus serious computing resources and a few tweaks to the architecture and size of these algorithms, these new language models build vast mathematical maps of how every word correlates with every other word, all without being explicitly told any of the rules of grammar or syntax. That gives them fluency with whatever language they're trained on, but it doesn't mean they know what's true and false. To get language models to generate true stories, like summarizing documents or answering questions accurately, it takes extra training. The simplest thing to do without much more work is just generate passages of text, which are both superficially coherent and also false.
So, give me any headline that you want a fake news story for.
Scientists discover flying horse.
Okay.
Adam Getchie is a software developer who created a fake news website populated entirely with machine-generated text. He used a language model called Grover, which was trained on news articles from 5,000 publications.
So, okay, let's see what we got.
More than 1,000 years ago, archaeologists unearthed a mysterious flying animal in France and hailed it the winged horse of Opsal, or horse of wisdom.
Well, yeah, like this is amazing, right? This is crazy.
It's so crazy.
It remains coherent all the way to the end, you know? The animal, which is the size of a horse, was not easy. If we just Google that, there's nothing...
It doesn't exist anywhere.
And I don't want to say this is perfect, but just from a longer term point of view of what people were really excited about 3 years ago versus what people can do now, this is just a huge, huge leap.
If you read closely, you can see that this model is describing a creature that is somehow both mouse-like and the size of a horse. And that's because it doesn't actually know what it's talking about. It's simply mimicking the writing style of a news reporter. And these models can be trained to write in the voice of any source, like a Twitter feed.
I'd like to be very clear about one thing. Shrek is not based on any actual biblical characters, not even close.
Or whole subreddits.
I found a potato on my floor.
A lot of people use the word potato as an insult to imply they are not really a potato, they just looked like one.
I don't mean insult, I mean as in the definition of the word potato.
Fair enough. The potato has been used in various ways for a long time.
But we may be entering a time when AI-generated text isn't so funny anymore.
Islam has taken the place of communism as the chief enemy of the West.
Researchers have shown that these models can be used to flood government websites with fake public comments about policy proposals. They can post tons of fake business reviews, argue with people online, and generate extremist and racist posts that make fringe opinions seem more popular than they really are.
It's all about taking something you could do and then just increasing the scale of it, making it more scalable and cheaper.
The good news is that some of the developers who built these language models also built ways to detect much of the text generated through those models. But it's not clear who has the responsibility to fake-check the internet. And as bots become even better mimics with faces like ours, voices like ours, and now our language, those of us made of flesh and blood may find ourselves increasingly burdened with not only detecting what's fake, but also proving that we're real.